Hello and welcome. Today we're going to discuss an important part of instructional planning for teachers. Whether you're new to teaching or have years of experience, planning is the key to helping students succeed. So now, let's dive into what makes instructional planning effective.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
So, how are you, ma'am?
I'm good.
Okay, that's good. So, ma'am, my question is, what are the components of instructional planning, and what do they think are the most important component of instructional planning, and why?
The components of the instructional planning are, of course, subject matter, objectives, the procedure, assessment, evaluation at mga instructional activities. So, I think the most important instructional components are those, the evaluation, because dito ni mo makita sa evaluation kung nakasabot ba ang mga bata. Dayon, kinahanglan sa imong objectives, kung congruent siya sa imong mga sa procedural process, dayon dito sa imong evaluation dapat coincide siya, then sa imong mga as well as sa instructional activities dapat mo jive siya sa imong objectives, ma-meet jud nimo ang objectives mo. Ang important diha para nako dito gid sa evaluation, sa assessment, kay dito man mo mahibaw-an kung nakasabot ang mga bata. Dito ni mo makita kung na-meet din nila ang imong objectives. So, thank you.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, how are you, ma'am?
Well, I'm fine.
Oh, that's good. So, my question, Madam Charity, is what are the components of instructional planning, and what do they think are the most important component of instructional planning, and why?
Instructional planning includes learning objectives, the assessment, either formative or summative assessment, the materials, the resources, evaluation, reflection. Yeah, so those are the components of instructional planning. And the most important, I think there are three things. First is the learning objective. It is important because it gives you a clear direction and what really your goal is on that day, on that specific day. And then the teaching strategies that you are going to do on that specific objective is also important, because every student every learner is different. So you need to have a different or a series of different teaching strategies in order to address all the differences of your learner. And I think the last important component of instructional planning is the assessment or the evaluation part, because during evaluation, you can tell if you really achieved your objectives or your goals on that day. And at the end of the day, you can reflect if your teaching strategies are right with that specific day or right with that specific objectives. So I think that's all.
The most important component in instructional planning is to give a clear learning objectives. These objectives define what students are expected to learn and achieve by the end of the lesson or unit. They guide the selection of content, instructional strategies, assessment methods, and materials, ensuring that all aspects of the lesson are aligned and focused on helping students achieve the desired outcomes. Without clear learning objectives, it becomes difficult to measure progress, assess understanding, or ensure that instruction is purposeful and effective.
That wraps up our discussion on instructional planning. Remember, good planning helps create a better learning experience for students. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you found this information helpful. Keep up the great work in your teaching journey.